Okay, so the first category is log equations first degree. And then we have to solve for the value of x, and we're given this log equation. So the first thing you want to do is condense everything. Remember, we practiced condensing logarithms, I think, last week. And so we're going to practice condensing it first before we change it into exponential form and then solve for x. So let's condense this. So in order to condense this, the first piece is already condensed, but we have this one with a 4 in the front. So we're going to move that 4 to become an exponent of the 3. So let me rewrite this. Log base 2 of 2x minus log base 2 of 3 to the power of 4. So remember that 4 that was in the front, it gets moved to become an exponent of the 3 when we're condensing. Oh, I guess I should write equals 1. And I'm going to continue it up there because that's where I have space. And then after this, we have two separate logs that have the same base and they're being subtracted from each other. So when they're being subtracted from each other, you can take their two values and put them in a fraction form. So we have log base 2 still, and then the 2x goes on top, and then a 3 to the power of 4 goes on the bottom. So we condensed it even more up to this point. So until here, are there any questions? Okay, so since there were no questions up till here, our next step is to actually rewrite this in exponential form. So remember logs, you can write them in exponential form using the base. So this is 2 to the power of that 1 equals this value. So 2x over 3 to the power of 4. So 2 to the power of 1 is equal to 2x over 3 to the power of 4. And then from here, we just solve for x. I'm actually going to rewrite 3 to the power of 4 because that has a number value. And I'm also going to rewrite 2 to the power of 1 because that also has a number value. So 2 to the power of 1 is just 2. And then that's equal to 2x over 3 to the power of 4 is 81. So I'm going to write that over here. So are there any questions up until here? So from here, we're going to solve for x by multiplying by 81 on both sides. So multiply by 81, multiply by 81. Those will cancel out. You'll get 162 is equal to 2x. I'm going to rewrite this over here. Just kind of make a little dividing line so I have more space. So we have 162 is equal to 2x. Let me just rewrite that. And then finally, to solve for x, you're going to divide by 2. Those will cancel out. We get x is equal to 81. And then over here, you can just type in 81. I don't think you need to type in x equals, but you just type 81 into the answer box. Okay, so are there any questions for this problem overall? Okay, so no one had any questions on the last one, and we got it right. So now we're on the second example. I just forgot to continue recording. So here we don't have any coefficients in front of the logs, so we don't really need to move any exponents. However, we have two logs with the same base, and they're being subtracted, so we're going to turn it into a fraction. This is log base 3 of the 6x goes on the top because it came first, and then the 9 goes on the bottom because it was the one that was being subtracted. So we have log base 3 of 6x over 9 is equal to 4. And so you know you can turn it into exponential form when you just have one log in there. So now we have one log in it, in our equation, and now we can turn it into exponential form. So to turn into exponential form, you take the base, which is a 3, you raise it to the exponent, which is a 4, is equal to the value, so that entire thing, 6x over 9. So base to the power of the exponent equals the value. And then once you're done with that part, we're going to just calculate whatever 3 to the power of 4 is, which is 81. is equal to 6x over 9. And then we're going to solve for x. So to solve for x, you're going to multiply both sides by 9. That will cancel out. 81 times 9 is 729. And then divide by 6. Those will cancel out. And you get 121.5. And so your final answer is 121.5. And I'll type that in. And then let's see if you guys have any questions. Okay, so one more example. Kind of want an example that has, that's going to have an exponent. So I'm going to skip this one. I want a different one. I want a harder problem. Okay, here. So I wanted something with an exponent because, because I wanted that. And also this one's added, so it's a little bit different from the ones we did before. So let's do this problem. So annotate. Okay, so like I said, there's a 2 in front, so that's a coefficient. You're going to move that to become the exponent of the 8. So we have log base 2 of 9x, just leave that as is, plus log base 2 of 8 squared. So essentially, I just took that 2 that was in front of the log and I moved it to become the exponent of the value. So it's 8 squared. So remember, our goal is to condense everything into one single logarithm. And after we have one single logarithm, then we can change it to exponential form. So right now we have 2 logarithms and they're being added together. So when you have 2 logarithms with the same base that are added together, you can multiply their values. So we have log base 2 of 9x times 8 squared. So we just took the 9x and we took the 8 squared and we just multiply it together. And then let's simplify that just a little bit further. What is 9 times 8 squared? I'm going to use my calculator for that. 9 times 8 squared is 576. So it's 576x. Okay. Well, did I even pause recording for that? Nope. Sorry, I took a while because I was fixing the attendance. Anyways, so after you get one single logarithm like we have here, we can now convert it into exponential form. So you take your base, which is a 2, raise it to the power of the exponent, which is 3, equals the value, so 576x. So 2 to the power 3 is equal to 576x. And then what is 2 to the power 3? That's 8. Is equal to 576x. And then you just divide by 576 on both sides. And then those cancel out. We get x is equal to 8 over 576. So this is not a simplified fraction. I don't know if you have to simplify. So just for the sake of making it easier on you guys, I'm going to try submitting an unsimplified fraction first to see if it will take it so that you guys will know whether or not you need to spend time simplifying or not. So let me try this first. But I guess before we try, are there any questions up till here? So like I said, I'm going to try 8 over 576, which I know is not simplified. But I want to know if Delta Math will accept this. So let's see. Okay, so luckily for you guys, you do not have to simplify your fractions. So if you just get 8 over 576, which would have simplified to 1 over 72. You don't have to write 1 over 72. You could just leave it as 8 over 576, and delta math will take it. And so you don't have to focus on simplifying, which I know is not the funnest thing. So yeah, no need for simplifying your fractions. That's the good news. Okay, so that was 3 examples from this category. Let's go do the next category.